Lazurus, season 1, episode 2, Life in the Fast Lane. Let's see if we can keep up. All right, so welcome back. We are talking about Lazurus, and this is episode 2. Again, new anime for me, so I'm checking stuff out. I think I was calling the main character Alex last episode. His name is Axel. I wasn't sure. I need to go back and check, but when I came out, I thought it was Alex, but it's Axel. So let me just clarify that if I hadn't before. Okay. All right, so Axel wakes up, and he's got a tracking bracelet on him, and it's stuck. It ain't going nowhere. There ain't nothing he can do about it. He can't get it off. Hirsch decides to give the team a choice, let them know this is what your options are. And while doing this, she shows basically control over the team. Like, you can either go do what I'm asking you to do, get the stuff done, so whatever, and kind of walk away at the end of it, I guess, maybe be done. But, if you try to take off something like that, hey, this thing can shoot volts through your body or incapacitate you. We can track you anytime. We got a bunch of stuff going on this thing. So, in my head, Suicide Squad. Straight up. No ifs, ands, buts about it. This is Suicide Squad stuff. You don't do what I want you to do, boom. I'm going to click the button, whatever case it be. So as we go on, we see different media interviews. They're still looking for the doctor. So that they got to find Skinner and find out what's going on, but they're interviewing the gardener. They're interviewing the famous, I guess, musical artist Lisa. This is just what they're doing as far as they need to figure out where Skinner is or if anybody got the information, whatever. While doing this, Lazurus, the team, ended up talking about the Avengers. What do you think we are? Some kind of superheroes? Were the Avengers or something? Kind of a symbol. Love the joke. I was happy with it. But all the team has admitted to using Hapna at some point in time. So they are all at risk for this kind of going sideways. Now, we don't know when everybody used Hapna. It's about 3 years from either when Hapna was first introduced or it's 3 years from the time that you first took Hapna. I haven't figured that out yet. So that's one thing I'm still kind of vague on, curious about. So we'll have to see that comes into play. So Doug is against Axel being on the team. I keep saying against Axel being on the team. Again, he's reckless. He's just kind of doing whatever. It's like he's not a fan of it. He's like, Doug likes more structure. So the team started to break down Skinner and his background. Basically he's a real smart guy. He was advanced in a lot of different ways and seemed like he was just kind of the next big thing, the next Einstein, whatever the case would be, all the way up until he kind of was talking about, how we got to fix certain things and people were just kind of blowing him off. It just kind of makes sense for why he's doing what he's doing. Not condoning it, but you see where his logic is coming from as far as this is like, I'm trying to do something here and nobody wants to be part of it. Because again, a lot of these people are about money and, what they can get. So Elena has eventually found the lead. And while setting this up, we found out that Skinner had got a survival shelter about 8 years back. So they decided, okay, well, Axel and Chris will go check out the survival shelter while Doug and Leland will go check out the offices. So to see if they can put stuff together. Elena's going to be on camera surveillance. So you just keep an eye out for anything where you can find Skinner. They know what he looks like. So they're trying to put everything together. And basically, we start learning a little bit about the characters. So Chris finds out about Axel and his sentence, and she immediately kicks him out because she's thinking he's some kind of degenerate, just horrible person, whatever the case be, some kind of psychopath, because his sentence being 888 years. Well, he's explained to her that, hey, every time I like to escape, I like to get out of there. So, like, my original sentence was for 2 years or something like that. But every time I escaped, they keep tacking more onto it. So 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, and it multiplies constantly. So as long as he keeps escaping, it's going to consistently multiply. So being at 888 years, it's going to double. So he's going to have to deal with that when he gets back if he gets captured again. So it'd be in his best interest not to get captured or have Hirsch keep him out of trouble. So they end up kind of still teaming up and continuing on. And we have Leland. Leland's asking about what Doug did. Doug apparently had a misdemeanor. Nothing too crazy for that. That's how he got roped into this. But again, because he's a straight arrow and a straight shooter, that's it's probably something like that needed on the team to kind of keep him in order. And everybody's got a reason for being there. Elena was a notorious hacker, but she's the wild card. Nobody really knows, but again, apparently she's the worst one of them all. as far as whatever she's done, and we still don't know whatever she's done. So I'm curious to find out about Elena and more about her character, because she's kind of like the shy, I'm hiding behind stuff, whatever. But it seems like when she's on the computers and stuff like that, she is not to be messed with. So how about that? Alex and Axel and Chris freaking end up finding a body. And as they find the body kind of sitting there, they got a bunch of people coming in. So you got Spanish guys coming in from one side, Russian guys coming in from the other side, because that's the language they're speaking. And they're literally just straight up gunfight. Like, it's going down. In the process of all this, we also have Doug and Leland at the offices, where Leland gets trapped by a guy with a shotgun and just like, hey, give me what, tell me where he is. I need to know. And Doug's like, hey, no, what are you doing? And then another guy comes in and is like, hey, yo, cut it out. Freaking, I need to know where such and such is. So everybody's confused. Like, what is happening? Like, so everybody's got some type of confusion going on. While Axel and Chris are kind of doing their thing, you see that he has a little thing on his neck, some kind of necklace. He says it's like his angel, whatever, that keeps him safe as long as he has it. And he just rushes out and just does whatever. So he's flipping, fighting guys, do whatever. Complete reckless abandon. Like, just, I don't care. And I think it's because he has that charm. Gives him whatever he needs to feel brave, to just kind of do whatever. But in the process, we see the FBI and the DEA both en route, and they were fighting with each other in the cars, more or less, to get to the location that Chris and Axel are at. So when they show up, so that they come in and they start, getting ready, like, start blasting, like they're holding everybody at gunpoint, and it's wild. The scary guy eventually wakes up and was just like, "What's going on?" Because everybody's got stuff pointed, and Axel ends up doing a DNA test on him. Was like, "Yeah, this ain't Skinner or anything like that. He's just some guy." And this guy apparently was the guy that it looks like the other team was looking for. Kobayashi, I think is what the name that was dropped, so that. But this is the other guy that the other two guys were looking for. So Doug, Leland, and the other two guys, they end up working out truth. Like, oh, you're not him, whatever. So that's just a big misunderstanding. You all just understand it's all just business. But they were probably looking for that guy who was in the bunker, and it's just like misunderstanding. I asked, whatever. Hey, you want to come work with us sometime? Whatever. Like, everybody's all buddy now. So that. A big misunderstanding, but Elena ends up getting something on the tracker where she ends up finding out that Skinner is present somewhere. She gets a hit, but apparently there's multiple Skinners. To be precise, maybe like 130 something of them, I think the number was. I don't know, but there's a bunch of Skinners running around. So now they got to deal with that. Okay, well, which one's the real one? I don't know. How many body doubles does he have? What does he set up? What's going on? I don't know. So they're kind of, back to square one. We got to figure out what we got to do, because the shelter was a no-go. The offices were a no-go, no information. And we got a hit on Skinner walking around. We don't know which one's which. So now that's the next lead we got to chase. So show still got my interest. I'm still trying to find out what they're going to do. I think they're at 29 days. So after this, probably put them at 28 days or less to kind of figure out what's going on. But they got to start searching people and figuring out what's up. Again, I'm invested. Cool. I like the characters. I think each one's going to kind of show us a little bit more about what they can do. So we see what Axel's doing. So I want to see more about what Chris can do, what Doug can do, what Leland's purpose is, because Leland's just kind of there right now, as far as I'm concerned. And Elena's doing her thing. So, and what is Hirsch's reasoning behind all this? I think everybody has taken it. I think Hirsch taken it, but I think Hirsch is trying to save herself or somebody else specifically. And that's why she needs to find Skinner and to get this drug, get the antidote for this drug. Somebody's important needs to be saved, and that is the whole purpose of this. So the Lazurus team is, I think, expendable at this point. They don't really care. Get me the antidote so we can save who we're trying to save. Plain and simple. That's all I got to do. So please make sure you hit that little subscribe button. I'm gonna keep track of this. I'm trying to get these out sooner. Again, there's a lot of stuff I'm trying to get covered with that, but that's all I got for this one. Pretty simple, cut and dry, and I will catch the next episode and see y'all then. Later.